Hey everyone, I'm Amber. Welcome back to my channel. In ancient China, the achievements in food culture were incredibly profound. From the imperial palace to the common folk, everyone had their own insights. After thousands of years of accumulation, culinary culture finally reached its peak development during three key periods: the Zhou dynasty's foundational era of ritual, the Tang dynasty's period of openness and fusion, and the Song dynasty's era of mature urban culture. First, let's look at the Zhou dynasty. If you time traveled back to the Zhou dynasty 3,000 years ago as a noble, you might think eating simply meant picking up chopsticks and grabbing food. Big mistake. In the Zhou dynasty, dining, especially for nobles, was a grand performance art with terrifyingly many rules. What was the most essential prop? The ding. Those large bronze cauldrons. This wasn't just any pot, it was a symbol of status. When the Son of Heaven ate, 9 ding could be displayed before him. Feudal lords had 7. High officials had 5. Lower nobles might only have 1, or perhaps no right to use a ding at all. This was called eating with rank ding, a display of immense ceremony. But having ding wasn't enough. The dishes also had to match one's rank. Among Zhou nobles, the ultimate banquet set was the Zhou 8 delicacies, China's earliest recorded imperial luxury menu, like an ancient Michelin 3-star. According to the Book of Rites, the 8 delicacies included Shenna, Shenmu, Pao Tun, Pao Zhang, Tao Zun, Zia, and Gan Liao. Shenna was essentially a luxurious meat sauce, rice bowl aromatic meat sauce poured over millet rice, similar to modern Fan, but made with premium ingredients exclusively for nobles. Pao Tun featured a suckling pig prepared with mind-boggling complexity. After slaughtering and cleaning, the piglet was stuffed with dates, completely encased in wet clay like a giant mud ball, and roasted over fire. Once the clay dried, it was cracked off and the pig's membrane scraped away. The meat was then sliced, dipped in rice flour paste, and deep-fried. Still not ready to eat, it went into a small ding, placed over a larger pot of water, simmering with spices for 3 days and nights. Finally, it was seasoned with vinegar and meat sauce. Zisao's wild dish was simply fresh raw beef slices but prepared meticulously, soaked overnight in fine wine, served the next morning with vinegar, plum sauce, or meat paste. The Zhou dynasty had a famous chef, Yi Yin, originally a highly skilled slave cook. He rose to become prime minister under Tang, founder of the Shang dynasty. His most famous theory linked statecraft to cooking. Heat control is key. Harmonize the 5 flavors. Governing a great kingdom was like simmering a good soup. Heat control was crucial. Too high, the soup scorched, and the kingdom fell into chaos. Too low, it wouldn't cook through. Tasting bland, the state wouldn't be governed well. Seasoning had to be just right. Too early or too late ruined it. Many cooking concepts we use today, like heat control and harmonizing the 5 flavors, originate here. Even the divided broth concept of modern hot pot comes from the Zhou invented divided ding, truly remarkable. Fast forward over 1,000 years to the glorious Tang dynasty. Arriving in the capital Chengyan, you'd be stunned by its prosperity and cosmopolitan vibe. It was the international food hub of the 7th to 9th centuries. The Silk Road brought delicacies from all over the world, creating a culinary frenzy. Walking through Chengyan's West Market, the air was thick with enticing scents. Wine shops run by Central Asians featured beautiful hu dancers, enticing customers, selling Persian fruit wine called sanlezhang and fragrant sesame-covered hubbing. Poet Li Bai loved these places. His verse, "Who maidens beckon with fair hands," inviting guests to drain golden cups, vividly captures the scene. Tang people, especially nobles and literati, knew how to enjoy life. They invented an ultra-luxurious banquet called the tail burning feast. When someone got a big promotion like a carp leaping over the dragon gate, its tail had to be burned off by heavenly fire to become a dragon. So, a promotion meant hosting a tail burning feast. An official named Wei Zhuan once hosted Emperor Zhongzong with a recorded 58-dish menu. 2 were particularly famous. First, 20 for solar term dumplings, not ordinary dumplings. Their wrappers were shaped into 24 distinct forms like plum blossoms, willow leaves, and ingots, each matching a solar term. Visually, they were edible art. Fillings included venison, rabbit, quail, sea cucumber, scallops, perch, shrimp, tofu, chives, mushrooms, and seasonal vegetables. Second, gold and silver striped flat slices, symbolizing shedding the old, birthing the new. the fish leaps the dragon gate. The name sounds cryptic, but it was essentially a crab roll made with crab roe and meat, golden and delicious. Today, it evolved into Jiangnan's crab roe soup dumplings, keeping the crab filling but changing the form to wrapped parcels. The Tang dynasty also saw a flour explosion. Stone mill technology spread, turning wheat from whole grains to flour. Noodles were called Tang Bing, dumplings, Laoan, or Yanyu, Handan. Steamed buns were popular. Tooth attempts even considered buns that split open in a crust shape as top quality. Night markets featured a snack called skewered goose and duck, roasted poultry skewers sprinkled with precious imported pepper, paired with wine, drawing crowds. Emperor Taizong Li Shimin grew grapes and made wine in the palace, sharing it with others. Dining style changed too. Previously, in the Zhou and Han, divided dining was common like an exam. Each person had a small table, eating separately. In the temps, with the Hu people's high tables and chairs, people began sitting around one tall table, food placed in the center. Though portions might still be individual, the atmosphere shifted entirely, more like a lively social party. This laid the groundwork for the Song's communal dining. In the temps, eating truly became enjoyment and connection. The Tangs even had a proto-ice cream called sushin, made by heating cream until nearly melted, drizzling it onto a plate into a mountain shape, sometimes dyed or decorated, then freezing it in an ice cellar. A high-end summer treat only nobles could enjoy ancient ice cream. Song dynasty food gets even more interesting, especially in the capitals Pyongyang and Linen. Here, the world's earliest mature urban society and bustling night markets were born. The food industry was unimaginably developed. The famous painting along the river during the Qingming festival shows bustling crowds. People hurriedly carrying food boxes were likely Song dynasty takeout delivery men. Night markets ran all night, brilliantly lit, with constant hawking. Sizzling fried lamb intestines, skewered goose and duck, iced cold rice bowls, stuffed lungs, and all kinds of street food. Song people adored mutton. According to Dreams of Splendor of the Eastern Capital, mutton dishes made up over 36% of menus, with over 40 cooking methods like steamed lamb, lamb kidney, oven lamb. The imperial family deemed mutton noble, while pork was relatively lowly. Emperor Renzong once woke hungry at midnight, craving roast lamb but restrained himself, fearing his request would make the royal kitchen slaughter sheep daily too extravagant. Records state the palace consumed 440,000 caddies of mutton yearly but only bought 4,000 caddies of pork. This huge gap stemmed from ancient beliefs. Sheep came from grand states like Qi and Lu, while pigs came from minor states like Zhou and Russo. Mutton was more noble. Pork did have its Song dynasty glory, thanks entirely to one man, Su Dongpa. Exiled to Guangzhou during a rough life, he found local pork dirt cheap as mud, but the rich scorned it, and the poor didn't know how to cook it. So Master Su researched diligently, inventing Dongpo pork. He cut belly pork into cubes, simmered it slowly with little water, soy sauce, and wine until red, bright, tender, melt in your mouth, not greasy. He proudly wrote to friends about buying unwanted lamb spine, boiling it, then roasting it with wine and salt, picking off the meat like crab so good dogs looked on in envy. Song imperial and high-end banquets also featured unique display dishes. Exquisitely crafted fairies carved from winter melon, pagodas piled from candied fruit. Their main function was visual spectacle, especially for foreign envoys. A Lao ambassador might be presented a whole lamb bound with raw scallions and garlic, impressive looking, but essentially inedible, pure show. Culturally, one of the Song's biggest contributions to daily life was popularizing the three-meal day. Previously, commoners might only eat twice. With Song prosperity and vibrant city life, breakfast became crucial. Lung soup with date cakes or congee with pastries were common choices. Even mock meat dishes appeared wheat gluten as fake meat. Gourd slices fried like fake fried meat, catering to diverse needs. The three-meal rhythm we take for today only truly took root among commoners in the Song. Why were the Zhou, Tang, and Song the three golden ages of ancient Chinese cuisine? First, the Zhou. Its advanced bronze casting produced complex cookware like ding and gui, enabling sophisticated cooking. Strict ritual systems turned dining into a symbol of status and power, birthing top-tier banquet standards like the Zhou 8 delicacies, Royal Chef Ye Yin's unprecedented status and theoretical height. His harmonizing five flavors theory, recorded in Master Ellis' Spring and Autumn Annals, stating harmonizing must use sweet, sour, bitter, pungent, salty, formally established Chinese seasoning philosophy. In the temps, the Silk Road brought vast foreign foods. Wei Zhuan's Chao Wei Yan menu records southern elephant trunk, Buhai bear paw, and Wu crab roe as palace staples. Beyond the court, Central Asian flatbreads, wine, pastries, cheese, pepper, and new fruits, vegetables continuously flowed into common life. Hu style, high tables and chairs changed dining from divided to communal meals, became livelier, more social. Tang economic prosperity and cultural competence made feasting fashionable. Flour technology also peaked. The song, "The state abolished strict ward market systems. Shops lined streets. Night markets stayed open. All-night records mention over 300 snacks like sizzling lamb intestines and iced rice balls at Keifeng's Juqiao night market. With the food industry highly developed, fast food and takeout emerge. The King Ming scroll story is prime song takeout proof. Crucially, iron woks replaced pottery ding, enabling fast techniques like stir-frying and deep-frying. Coal stoves replaced wood stoves, allowing finer heat control. People's pursuit of enjoyment drove cuisine to unprecedented prosperity, with figures like Su Dongpo making huge contributions to food promotion. What these three golden eras left behind isn't just history, they shaped our tables today. So friends, next time you pick up a steaming dumpling with chopsticks, remember the temps called it Laowen. When you gather around a hot pot with friends, recall that Zhou invented the divided ding. When you savor a rich, non-greasy piece of Dongpo pork, know its ancestor was the great scholar Su Dongpo. I am Amber. Catch you next time.